Savage. If you have not followed his Triple H horse racing podcast, you're missing out. It's one of the best podcasts in the country.
Hello and welcome to episode 21 of Weekend Warriors right here on the HHH Racing Podcast. I'm your host for this afternoon, Noah Maher, joined by Jackson Muniz, of course, a familiar face, and another familiar face by the name of Chris Couples, who thought it was funny to make himself not Matt Miller down below for his name. Thank you guys so much for joining us this afternoon. Of course, you can join us during the week for our weekly live shows, Tuesday nights, Wednesday nights, Thursday nights, you name it. So much to keep track of, but you can go ahead and hit the subscribe button and that notification bell to make sure you are caught up with everything over here on the network. Of course, you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor. You can go ahead and follow us over on our X platform, which is at HHH Racing Pod. And we've got wonderful stuff over on our website, of course, our Power Picks tip sheet and a bunch of stuff over there. So go ahead and check out our website, hhhracingpodcast.com. Gentlemen, we'll go ahead and dive right in. I'll throw it to you, Jackson, first. I kind of feel like I know the answer to this question, but how's your day going so far?
It's going fine. Contest aside, it's been going fine. A lot of fun. Woke up this morning and did a show with these guys, and a lot of good racing today. Haven't really connected the dots too much, but yeah, we're gonna talk about the contest. It's really quite different than it was a week ago at this time when it was super high totals. Right now, it's very, very low. So the complete opposite from last week.
Yeah, Chris, thanks again for joining us and filling in. Of course, we've got some more familiar faces that are not joining us today. Of course, you got Howard at Santa Anita, and Matt's got his own stuff. He's not even playing today, which, I had to ask him if he was ill because it's something that you don't typically see. You don't see the name Matt Miller not in a Saturday contest very often. But, Chris, thanks for joining us. Love the camera setup, by the way. How's it going today?
Yeah, new camera. We did a show this morning, and I mentioned my wife. I said, I really need to get a camera for this computer. I've been using this little Surface Pro, and it's always like looking up at me. And she goes, I bought you one 6 months ago. It's in that drawer. So we'll give her a try here.
I love it. We'll go ahead and look at the leaderboard, of course, for this Fairgrounds in Tampa Bay, KDBC, and NHC qualifier over on TWINSPIRES. Let me get that pulled up here in just a second, and there it is. It was just updated at 4:20. I don't know if there's been a race since then. Let me go ahead and hit the refresh button, and no, there hasn't. So you can see the leaderboard up on the right side of the screen. Let me go ahead and zoom in and get that a little bit better for you guys. Ryan Petruniak, a buddy of mine, I actually just had lunch with him over at a place not too far, and we might have the pleasure of seeing him in about 45 minutes or so. He's got the lead, hit an exacta in race 2 at Tampa, and got himself to a little over 2,000. He's had some show bets since. We all know the frustration of missing show minimums, and he's got his fair share of that so far, but bounced back. He's at 1976 with the lead so far. Steven Sayre right on his tail at 1848. You can see his plays. He had a nice winner in race 3 at Fairgrounds, and then a little gap to 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. A lot of people in contention so far. Correct me if I'm wrong. We've got 2 NHCs on the line, and I believe only one KDBC, or is there 2 KDBCs? Can somebody confirm?
There are 2 KDBCs, and then 5th place is going to get $4,500 in cash. So a lot to play for the top 5. And I mean, I think there's only 25 people left or something, roughly. I mean, I think with the way this leaderboard is shaken out, I think there's 5 races to go, you're going to see a lot more conservative play than usual until we get to the final race, where it's going to, everyone's going to be betting in that final race, obviously.
Chris, that's kind of been the theme that we've seen so far. I know you're still in there. We'll go ahead and scroll down. Unfortunately, Jackson and myself are not in there, but there you are sitting at 312. As somebody that's in that position, is there a number that you've got in mind as we've got 5 races left to go?
Right now, I'm just looking at that top 5, kind of shooting in that area with the low totals. Anybody that's got any money left is, still obviously alive and a good chance, because you can be right 3 out of the next 5 races. You could win this thing. We go from all the crazy totals last week to low totals this week.
No doubt about that. We've got 1 minute to race 9 at Tampa. So I'll go ahead and put those PPs up on the screen. I'll be switching back and forth between Fairgrounds and Tampa so we can obviously take a look at those as we go. There's Tampa right there. Race
if somebody
9.
hits something here, more power to them, because I don't know where you would get any information.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I feel the same way. I mean, you got some firsters I don't know a ton about. Right now, the morning line favorite's the 5 firster for Belmont and Edgard's Ice, and I know Bill is at Gulfstream because I saw FanDuel was interviewing him earlier. Jackson, if you were to play, is there a direction you'd go?
I would probably try the 2 horse in here. Just the only horse that has experience and has a lot of speed, and it's going to be a bit of a price in this spot. So in a race that is full of unknowns, I would try this horse. I don't anticipate there being a lot of movement after this race unless someone really likes his Belmont horse, because that's the one horse you can find some info on. You can watch the workouts she's had over on XVTV. She looks fine. I mean, nothing special, but maybe it's good enough to beat this field. I would be surprised if we see a whole lot of movement after this race.
Gotcha. Looks like the 7 is taking a little bit of money too. That is a Rodolfo Garcia runner for Samuel Marin. And then after that, it's a little bit up in the air. So just one of those races where it doesn't really seem like the public kind of knows where to go. Looks like they are getting close to the gate. And obviously we can't show these races, but we can provide audio. So I've got that up, I believe, correctly. This is the first time I'm doing this. So, if you tell me that you can't hear anything, please let me know. Of course, we can get that situated. While we wait, let's go to the chat and see who is with us this afternoon. Trish Smith, good luck to everyone in the contest. Marco Lou says yo and is asking how the contest is. We'll find out how it goes for Chris in a little while. Us two at the top, not so good. Hockey Horses, which is Mike Saletta. Howdy, gents. CC, love the name. I know Mike. I saw his name up there in about 8th or 9th earlier on in the day. And we've got more people coming in, including Tom Espinoza. Hello, everyone, and good luck. Quick listen, running some errands. So no matter what you're doing, if you're involved in this contest, if you're just screwing around on a Saturday afternoon like we like to do, come over and join us, friends. Please tell me you can hear that.
Yeah, we got you. Yeah, Mike is doing a good job risking minimal money today, and got himself in good position, and has just took a little bit of risk and managed it well enough with these low totals. He definitely has a big shot.
You can hear that, right, Jackson?
I can't hear anything.
You can't hear anything?
Maybe that's oh, damn.
Did the race start?
No, they're going into the gate. Can you hear that, Chris, or is that your feed?
I bet I'm hearing my feed. I bet I don't have it turned down all the way.
Oh, boy.
Hang on. Let me see if this will work. Hold on.
I mean, worst case scenario, right? Or no, you can just announce the race for us.
Yeah, Tony Kayla does a little bit of a better job. And he just did a 6-7 too, so you missed that.
See if you can hear this. You got to say something first.
Oops.
Princess Nicola sent to Lodia.
Yeah, you know what, Chris? Why don't you take care of that for this
Where's
afternoon?
the tech man? I love it. Who would have thought?
Actually, it's just a TV right beside the computer, so I have a volume control button.
Oh, perfect.
Not that technical.
Does the job, though. Does the job.
So our buddy Mikey's got all the big screens put up now. And I'm sitting here looking at all these little screens everywhere.
Yeah.
The 7 just broke out the gate, as they call it.
All the way around the front starting gate now.
Or no, I guess they're trying to load from the front. I
Yeah,
don't know what they're doing.
I texted you a while back, Chris. I suggested maybe we could a play for this race could be like a minimum double if you like something in the last race, just because it feels so wide open here. Like that's something someone could be doing if they're trying to move the ball forward just a little bit in a race like this.
But to me, without some inside knowledge or some kind of tip from the track, you have a big field here, and you might find replays of works on 2, maybe 3. I know if you force me to play a horse at a price, I know Michael Yates does good with first-time starters and Cajun Breeze, good dirt sprinters, but that's just a random shot.
Yeah. And it's not like there's a huge indication of like who's going to take late money. I mean, outside of the 5, I mean, everyone's.
And the 5 might be good enough, but to me, his best babies in Florida are going to run at Gulfstream.
Yeah. He just debuted one not that long ago. That
The
one.
outside, Big Ray.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
What?
Big Ray, who I'm assuming was born in May.
They are very slow to get these horses loaded.
Chit Chat still not quite in. Now goes forward. Big Ray to the outside. Big Ray going up.
We also still got 2 minutes to fairgrounds, so they're gonna do their best. They're gonna do their best to try to put these on top of them.
Another first-time starter. Good 8 firsters here in this field. Big Ray once again moving up. And this time going in. And they're all in the gate. And the race is on. Muffin Thief came away last. Big Ray came away sharply. Adios Tootsie driving through the red colors is the quickest, though. Osplexi going to try to go with that one. Princess Macoba broke sharply as third. As Big Ray now stumbles back fourth. Inspire Courage in the green colors to the inside is fifth. Moving with that one is Get a Hold of Yourself. April Spud is back running in the seventh position. Chit Chat is eighth early on. About 8 lengths off the top. It's 4 more then back to Miss Winnie. And the slow start has Muffin Thief at the back. As they run to the far turn, Adios Tootsie. Siggy Gilbridge, foot on the gas pedal through an opening quarter, 21.74 seconds. They lead it by a length. Chasing is Osplexi. Princess Macomb out 4 deep from third. In amongst horses, Big Ray is looking for a seam, heading down to the 3 path. Meanwhile, Inspire Courage going to hold that rail position. Chit Chat starting to meander through horses is up to about 6 now and about 4 behind. Adios Tootsie still leads him around at the top of the stretch. Princess Macomb, the first challenge up on the outside. Big Ray's down toward the fence. Adios Tootsie with something left. A final furlong left to go. It's Adios Tootsie, May Gray, trying to come through down along the inside. Then comes Princess Macoma. Chit Chat stalled out back and forth. Final 16 to go. Adios Tootsie still there. Adios Tootsie get to wire. May Gray was second. Princess Macoma third. Chit Chat is fourth.
3:10.7, I believe.
3:10.7 in the 9th at Tampa. Michael Yates, spot on first timer. Daughter of Cajun Breeze gets the job done, I believe, at 6-1. The question I have for you guys is, who the hell is that jockey? Because I have never heard of that man.
Neither. Like,
Not
and
sure.
that horse was a total random guess because I know the stud and Michael Yates, so there was nothing about the jockey I knew.
I know it finished 3:10. Are they going to look at it at all? Because I know the 10 had a little. Like the 10, whoever the jock was on the 10 looked back when the 4 checked back, and then the 2 really checked. So, is there any chance that they make a movement for a second?
I would imagine
there is an inquiry.
Oh, there is? Okay.
No.
So I know we've got.
It's not going to affect the winner, though. The winner.
Yeah, no. Yeah, if you've got the 3 to win, you're sitting pretty so far.
Yeah.
It looks like they are close to the gate at Fairgrounds. If you want to do us a favor, Chris, and get that switched over, no rush.
Different device, but I think the sounds should be still good.
Looks like you still got about a minute or so until they actually break. We're not going to have a huge amount of time to look at this race real carefully, but as of now, going into the gate, you got the 2 rising inflations for Jonathan Wong and Isaac Castillo as the 6-5 favorite. And you got the 7 Shaston 9-5 second choice. Either of you have a preference or any kind of interest in this race?
Can y'all hear that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, we hear.
Yeah, I thought the 1 was maybe a little interesting as a bit of a price. I wasn't overly in love with either of these favorites, but it's a tough race because there's question marks for both these favorites, especially number 7 is coming off a long layoff.
Yeah. I would have been on the 6 if I chose to play here. I definitely think this is a spot where we can see some leaderboard movement.
Definitely. And hopefully they'll get it switched here pretty quickly so we can kind of see the update from both Tampa and Fairgrounds, although they do have that inquiry, so they might hold out a little bit on that.
And if we had a dry track at Fairgrounds, I actually would have played this race in the contest, but the off track just kind of threw in some unknown information.
It seems like it's been pretty fair, though, from what I've seen. I don't think it's been overly speedy. There's been a few rides where they've kind of, in the stretch, they're taking the horses way out the center of the track.
Yeah.
So that's something, at least the jockeys seem to think that might be an advantage, or at least some of them.
And I highly doubt anybody made a move at Tampa. They may have took a shot, but like you said, Jackson, the doubles, but
Yeah, right.
it'd be pretty risky.
And they're on. Clearly a test. Broke alertly. Union missed with an early bid. For the inside is Bundle right there. And La Renita is also up close. It's Bundle from Paco Lopez. Bundle has pole position in front of La Renita, who pursues Bundle as they go to the back of the snout. Good rated track. Time with Isaac Castillo. Rising inflation comes up the rail. Just being third from Union Mist back in fourth. Clearly a test. Sierra November and Jason Trails. Quarter 24.34 seconds. It's Bundle. So Bundle takes charge of the pace for Paco as Cosiertines has La Renita 23-1 close to Bundle. They're now right together. Run to the half-mile pole. Here's the inside is Rising Inflation. A bit of a pocket there, Rising Inflation. Union Mist back with the gold chevrons, keeping Rising Inflation off of heels. Sierra November goes to within 4 lengths off this leader. Inside a half-mile left. Then wide clearly a test, and Jason is last. Half-mile 48.43 seconds. Around the far turn that way, it's La Renita. La Renita's in front at 23-1 as they come toward the quarter pole. Bundle is tailed off. La Renita with on the outside, Union Mist and Rising Inflation now making 3-path progress. She's in the white blinkers. Sierra November gets a sweet ground run. It's La Renita. 3/4 woman at 13.62 seconds. La Renita staring at one more furlong. Union Mist between horses. Rising Inflation. She's poked ahead in front now. And here's Jason, who's delivering this challenge for Florent Giroux. It's Jason who's taking the lead from Rising Inflation. Jason. Florent Giroux for Brad Cox, a Juddmonte victory. Jason has come from last to first.
Last to first, indeed. Chasten 2-1 over the 6-5 favorite, the 2. I can pretty much safely say that we're probably going to see some movement on this leaderboard after that result.
Yeah, I agree. And I would bet the 6 back next time. Edwards lost all momentum and then got behind horses and on a muddy track. He was moving, and just when he lost his path there and then took a little mud, he just stopped.
Yeah, I mean, besides, I guess if you're Ryan and Steven, first and second, right, there's a pretty big gap of about $700 to the rest. Those two are probably done, right? Until something weird happens. I mean, I don't see any reason why you'd be trying to push the envelope, the ball forward in this spot until someone does something that forces your hand. So everyone else below that absolutely could have picked that race. Those are very obvious. Exactly there. 6-horse field. The favorites went 1-2. So definitely a race you could see some movement. But for those two guys, I don't think they probably did too much.
Well, I was kind of leaning towards no to that question and maybe having to make at least a little move again. But then I saw that there was really only one person that made a move in the Tessellate race. They had the double from Drexel Hill to Tessellate. I'm not exactly sure what it paid, but I figured more people would maybe have that. But I was a little surprised that only one person was able to cash on that.
I'm wondering with the low scores if everybody's thinking the same thing. I'm going to keep what capital I have and try to play whatever odds I've got to play and make a move at the end. And it works. And I watched some great contest players do that day in and day out. It's not what I do. It just happens to be my opinions toward the end today. Because when I get to trying to play odds, like Matt can pick up his phone and just see his crystal ball and look who's taking money, who's going to be what price. Yeah. I'll sit here with a pen and paper for 10 minutes and then get it all figured out and be totally wrong.
Yeah. Well, and it also depends on what your goals are in this tournament. As we talked about, it pays to 5 spots. So the top spot might be $2,500, $3,000 for the win. But, I mean, the way the thing is going, you might only need – I mean, Ryan could probably sit the rest of the contest and still get a prize. I mean, it's heading that direction unless it gets super chalky here on out and everyone hits. But until then, I mean, probably not.
And if your goal is an NHC seed, I would be getting on the website right now and seeing who of these top people on the leaderboard are double qualified.
Correct.
Yeah.
I know Ryan has at least one. I don't know about Steven.
They did make a change at Tampa. They took the 10 down, so 3-7-5.
Okay. So we're gonna get a double update.
Yeah.
2 minutes.
Yeah, because they haven't. I just refreshed. They haven't updated Fairgrounds just yet. It's probably going official right about now, and then Tampa will be the same. So maybe we hold out for about a minute.
Something we seen at Tampa right then with them taking so long to load is something we were discussing in chat. Because I am playing the next race at Tampa, but when I do that, if I wouldn't have played earlier to cover a minimum, it would have left me a spot where I played this race at Tampa, and there was going to be a 6-minute gap between that race and the next at Fairgrounds. And I asked a stupid question and chat wanted to get their opinion if I need to cover another minimum in case there was a delay and I got shut out at Fairgrounds, I'd get DQ'd. Well, prime example at Tampa while ago, them taking so long to load, that race just went official at the same time Fairgrounds did.
Right.
So, in that case, I would have been, I'd have been in trouble and wasted a whole day.
Yeah. I mean, in that scenario, you could have just bet $40 less on your bet's opinion, which would not have been ideal, but that would have been a way around it. But I 100% understand the point you're trying to make.
That was race 9 at Tampa, correct?
Yes.
Because it's
1 more at Tampa and 2 at Fairgrounds, I believe.
Okay.
Yes.
Because it is updated for the 7th at Fairgrounds, but we do not have the update for Tampa 9th. I was going to go ahead and bring it up once we got both.
Well, it looks like we do have both.
They both are final.
Oh, do we?
I think so. Yeah. And there was a little bit of movement. Yeah.
Let's go ahead and bring that up on the screen, as you can see now. Still in first is Mr. Ryan Petruniak, still at 1976. It looks like he's sad. Obviously, we talked about there's really no reason to be moving at this point. Brian O'Kane was able to cash. He had a $600 win bet on the 7. Just
very nice.
Came from last to first over the top. Very nice play. Got him over 1,900. So I believe he was all in at that point. Looks like he had played some smaller stuff. He had a win place bet at Tampa, and then was able to just use all that money that he allocated towards that race and got the job done. So hats off to Brian. Like we said, with the way that the leaderboard's going right now, that's a pretty favorable spot to be in. Just depends on, number one, I have to mention this. Ryan's got 2 NHCs, so
right.
Well, he's not going to be focused on getting first or at least top 2. So, if you're Brian and you're not double qualified, you're sitting in a pretty good spot right now, I would think.
And there was another big change there. Steven had a second entry that I believe was like in 5th, 6th, 7th range.
Yeah, he busted out.
Yeah, and he bet the 2 horse at Fairgrounds.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's obviously a very dangerous player. I think he's in second right now on the tour. I mean, he's in every single one of these and does extremely well. So
yeah,
something to keep an eye on too. I'm a little, I don't want to say surprised, but maybe a little surprised if depending on what his goals were again in this kind of contest. Like that seemed like a really obvious spot to split his entries right there. If you're just trying to get one entry in the top 5, like boom, you bet all of it on the 2 and you bet all of it on the 7, and then one of them is going to be at 3,000 and then you're done. But maybe it was a situation where you're trying to get both of those into the top 5.
We also could have a small hidden double on his other, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Definitely at Fairgrounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that just with the way that he plays, I would think that would be more likely than him just kind of free balling with the 2, and if he doesn't, then that would be out. Like I think he would have to benefit at least from a second choice, at least a very likely second choice, beating him like that.
Right, and he doesn't even have to shove on the double. It could be a couple $100, and he's going to really move the ball forward into these next 2 favorites. I think the next race only has 5 horses. I believe it was a grass turf sprint that no longer on the grass, so it got scratched out.
And currently there is a 1-5 favorite.
The
The 9 is hammered.
Well, I believe Tampa's going to go off before that, correct? So
supposed to, if they don't have the issue they have all go. But these are, more veteran horses. You had a load of our whole crew of first-time starters a while ago, and they were balking.
Yeah, let's talk about Tampa. I'll go back to you, Chris, because I know you're going to be making some sort of play. Is there a direction that you're leaning in here? What do you think about some of these horses and runners?
Yeah, I had a pretty strong opinion here. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to bet it yet, but Celtic Motif for Chad was with Walsh last year, worked with the horse. Me and Howard actually had liked a lot called Dublin 9. He's had some health issues and hadn't got back to the races yet, but they thought a lot of Celtic Motif. Moved Barnes, obviously, got beat last time by a stablemate that Pratt rode in New York. I like that horse a lot. And then the 6 is just kind of one of them out there that we don't know much about. There was only one work to watch, nothing negative, moved well. I'm primarily focused on those 2 horses.
Gotcha. Jackson, did you like anybody in here? I know you were probably thinking about, at least at the beginning of the day, that you would have to maybe play one of these last couple of races, either here at Tampa or maybe one of the last couple of fairgrounds. Is there a horse that you're interested in?
Not really. I was going to do a little minimum on probably the 6 or the 7 in the spot. They're the most likely winners. Didn't have a huge opinion in here. I thought someone in that Celtic Motif race ran earlier today, the most recent race, but I can't seem to find it. So maybe I'm mistaken about that. Trying to get another clue about the form of that spot, but I might be mixing up my races. I've looked at quite a few of them today. So.
Now there is some commonality here. I think several of these horses come out of the Sonia Heaney race. I think Sonia Heaney ran 2nd earlier today.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I mean, there have been 19 races to choose from in this, so that makes a lot of sense. This is a horse that I talked about when we did the leaderboard show on Wednesday. I would be a little interested in her. The fact that she's 8-1 right now, and it doesn't really seem like she's going to be all that much lower than that. Probably not a good sign. But I mean, there was just a truckload of money that came in her at Keeneland, and she hadn't run for a year. And then I think she was 8-1 morning line that day. Got bet down to 9-5, and just didn't run a step at all. But she had been training really well in the mornings going in, and she's training really well coming out. I know I watched the work on the 21st. I know it was kind of a lesser rival or lesser stablemate. But I would have liked there to be a little more money in her direction. Just the fact that, if she really didn't run to her ceiling last time, which I think is probably the case, I thought she'd be more like 3-1 in here. But the fact that, maybe she's going to be at a ceiling of 5-1, I'd maybe be a little hesitant to maybe push or put a big bet on her.
Yeah, I remember this race.
Go ahead, Jackson.
I just remember that race at Keeneland, and I remember we were definitely talking about this horse because I think it was the last race of the day, and everyone was talking, oh, that Walden horse in last, and you're right. She went from 8-1 more line and opened up like 4-5 or something, and she drifted by post time and just didn't run a step. So I didn't know what to make of that. Is that what she just is? Was she just overhyped European horse, or was that a legit excuse? Because then now the blinkers go on. I don't think Walden has a lot of runners down here at Tampa Bay Downs typically, so I wasn't quite sure what to do with this one.
Yep.
But if you want to give her another shot, as you said, she's going to be a fair price.
Yeah.
I looked at her pretty hard, but she did enter at Churchill November 2nd and was marked unsound. That's never a good sign. And the horse that she worked with, that Payson, ran dead last yesterday at Gulfstream. So maybe she can get back to what she was, but I'm not so sure she's the same horse that got bet at Keeneland. Yeah.
No, I understand the points, and to be fair, there's every indication with where the money's going right now. So, to me, it just kind of seemed like it was 1, 6, or 7. Is there anybody else that you guys really looked at?
The 10 is taking a little money.
10. I know Bob Segura likes the 10. Oh, the 10 is taking some serious money.
Yeah.
The
barn is on fire. Proctor was, I want to say, 1 for like 60 on the year. And then the Tampa Bay meet opened up, and he has just been on fire. Every single horse is firing. I mean, even the races he's losing, they're running 2nd and 3rd. So the barn is just, you can't ignore him right now.
Yeah, and I know one of the runners was Wrigleyville, who had just beat Phoenix of Wit, who was the one horse that was the race that you lost, but ran fine and ran well. And then that 3 that you bet had come out of that race too. So it seems like the runners that he's got are running, and even the races that his runners are running and are coming back pretty good too.
Yeah, and if somebody needed a price here, I'm not going to play this horse, but the 4 at a huge number. I know if you go back to this horses races last spring or early in 2025, they were solid. It's the same trainer. They just changed amongst themselves apparently. Last time got on the rail, get checked pretty hard. I think this horse will outrun its odds.
Yeah, I like it. Marco Lou's asking about the 9. Do you guys have any comment on that?
I looked at the 9 really hard. I watched the replays, of course. Just kind of, it was going to be up close, but it's kind of a plotter and he'll turn a foot and just not the kind I bet. I think that horse can hit the board here. I do not think that horse can win.
Yeah, and I know Mikey and John Gaspar did a show for In the Money yesterday morning. I think it came out yesterday morning. And John was a little interested in the 5 Queen Dancing, another Mott runner. The Mott runner in the last race didn't run super well, but I think there's a case to be made for her. I mean, closing into a slow pace last time, was in a pretty decent race at Keeneland where you had the first and second place horses come back and win next out. So I would give her maybe a small look, but I could see a pretty chalky result with 1, 6, or 7. That was kind of just how I felt about this one.
Yeah, and the thing with the 7 too is, I mean, there's really not a lot of speed in here. I think the 10 probably makes the front, and then the 7 is going to be right behind her, I would imagine. And other than that, no one else really wants to be forwardly placed unless someone does something uncharacteristic. So I do feel like the 7 is going to be tough. And if you're one of those players that's in the $400, $500, $600 range, and you just shove on this horse, get to 1,200 or so, that really puts you in position to do something with the race to go. So it just depends. Is this your main spot and you want to try to win it right here, or do you want to set yourself up for the last race?
We've got 6 minutes still to Tampa, I believe, and that might actually be another still in the paddock, so it might be a little more than 6 minutes.
Yeah.
About 10
we
or
should
12.
maybe talk about fairgrounds because they're probably going to overlap again.
Yeah, that's really a good point. Fairgrounds, we've got 11 minutes, and this is that off the turf race that you guys were talking about. What's your guys' mentality when a race comes off the turf? Are you just like you put all that work into it and you just kind of pass in a contest, or are you going to like re-dive and maybe find a spot, especially when it's the second to last race, and even with the scenario of having 2 tracks, these are the last 2, so you have that benefit of playing a late double if you'd like.
I don't mind the off turf races. I kind of like them actually because I think a lot of people, as you said, kind of get married to the opinions that they've had for 3 or 4 days, and I'm the same person. I get very stubborn, and I don't want to get off the horses sometimes that run really well in the grass that don't necessarily translate to the dirt. And sometimes you get these turf horses that are just way over bet based on turf form, and they have no business being on this surface. So I kind of view it as an opportunity. Not for this specific race is an opportunity because the big favorite is a dirt horse. She's never even tried the grass before, so she deserves to be favored in here. I was going to try the 1 a little bit, but I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say about this. I'm surprised the 9's 2-5. I'll just say that.
I am too. And to your question, though, I start completely over. Like if I have my PPs already on, I forgot the name of this app, but whatever on my iPad, I basically go back after the scratches, start over, make sure I have replays from dirt races in there, and try to wipe everything from my brain. Because, of course, it's a completely different surface. The 9, I see it should be favored, should not be 2-5. The 1 is a horse I admittedly am a little attached to. The horse run well on turf and dirt, and I've been kicking myself since the last race at Fairgrounds when I passed on this horse in the contest and just bet it in cash and would have been an easy W. I've followed this horse well, familiar with some of the back class. If I had to play something here, I would definitely be playing the 1. And if everything goes well for me at Tampa here, I may turn around if I have time and go right back and bet the 1.
And to answer your other question, Noah, the problem with betting doubles into the last race for contest is your money is tied up. So if something goes unexpected on the leaderboard, you can't do anything about it. And then for today, it seems like Tampa race is going to go off at pretty much the same time as this Fairgrounds race, and that's too much race you have you're flying blind in. So unless you're really confident in the price that you're getting, that it's going to be enough to get you where you want to go, the double doesn't necessarily seem like the best bet in this specific contest.
Yeah, you said that you like the 1 in addition to Chris. This is, I believe, one of 2 runners that are still in the field for Greg Foley, and obviously you like her. She's proven over both the grass and the main track.
Yeah, and I think, look, the 9's going to go to the front here. There's no doubt about that. That is her style. But there is other speed. The 4, Party Pauline is very, very fast as well. I would expect her to be up on the pace. and hopefully kind of speed up that 9 horse a little bit and set it up for a horse like the 1. So that's my hope with the 1 at least. I hope she gets the pace she needs. I'm also just not quite sold the 9 is necessarily the same horse she was, I believe it was last year or early 2024 when she got those giant numbers, because she's getting bet based on those 90, 94 buyers. That was 18 months ago now. I don't know if she's the same horse.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good way to put it. What do we got? 2 to 3 minutes at Tampa? You guys have any?
3 to Tampa, 8 to Fairgrounds.
Do you know if they're on the track already at Tampa? I would hope
they've not crossed over to the turf yet.
Oh, they haven't? Okay. Well, let me
yeah, I'll have it ready.
Okay, cool. I think
and to the 9 back at Fairgrounds taking the money. If you go back to, let me get it pulled back up. I'm clicking every which way here. The Ellis race in the mud, July 29th. I know that was really, really fast, and the horse is 3 for 5. And I'm not somebody that's going to be betting a 1 to 2 shot on a all turf race, but I get it.
Yeah, and she was maybe getting a little tired late with a favorable pace scenario last time, but this is 5.5. This isn't 6, so if she gets the lead, maybe the 4 does pressure her, but I could see people. If you do like the 1, what would be the ideal play? I guess it depends on what you've got in the chamber, right? Like if you're in a
9 taking so much money, let's pretty much keep it simple.
Yeah, I mean, is there a spot where you would afford to maybe risk a bet on the 1 and then a 9-1, or is
it's just going to depend on your bankroll at the time.
Yeah.
I'm kind of trying to decide between a similar situation right now at Tampa, watching the late money and watching the bulls, and the problem we all know we have with that is the CAW money.
Right. And people really love to go crazy for Chad. I know when Tony Kayla was on the show for Picks and Ponies on Thursday, he was just talking about how Chad, it's a weird stat, but he's just got a big strike rate in the last race on turf at Tampa. So
really, the last race specifically.
Yeah.
Well, it's because it's always the maiden races, and that's what he's good at. And he doesn't take his batter stock typically to the Gulfstream turf course. I think he said that many times. A lot of his horses just don't handle it. It's quite different than what he sees up in New York and over in Kentucky as well.
So it looks like they are on the turf course, and hopefully
we're fixing to start loading.
Yeah, going off at Tampa here pretty soon. Odds update: 8 to 5 on the 7 Celtic motif, that Chad Brown runner that we were talking about. Second choice, the 6 Bronte, 7 to 2 Motion, that runner, and then the 1 finally starting to take a little money. She's down to 9 to 2, that Walden runner that we were talking about, and the 10 4 to 1. So got some good prices here. If you're able to beat the 7, or if you like the 7, mix it up with some of those, you can get some value through an exacta or whatnot.
And something we were talking about at Fairgrounds and the price, Marco was talking about the Baffert horse. I know Santa Anita's not in the contest, but the price on that horse was ridiculous. I mean, yes, it was supposed to win, but who's betting this stuff in a 5-horse field?
Yeah. It was the same thing with Explorer. I mean, she didn't look all that convincing, but she was 1 to 9, and there was about $150 on her to place because they had eliminated show wagering. She got the job done, but even then, like who is putting their hard-earned money to
Yeah, I know that's just not a spot I'm looking to play.
Agree. We are hopefully close at.
They're eventually going to get to the gate. They seem like they started walking from.
Yeah, that's going to have a long walk over to the shoot.
Because that 6-minute gap between Fairgrounds and Tampa post times are now down to 4.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think you're going to be able to get this race official before the Fairgrounds race.
Probably not. So that's okay. I know I do, and I'll tell you, if I was to get through Tampa, I don't like nobody at Fairgrounds unless I'm just going to pick one.
Right.
Well, it looks like they just finished up the post parade at Fairgrounds, so maybe you've got a little more time than it indicates. But even then, I mean, that's going to be.
Yeah, it's going to be really close. I know you're getting fired or something, and that's okay.
Maybe we can call
have no problem.
Jason Beam, who was on the podcast this week, and have him beat him up over at Tampa Bay Downs. Get him going.
Yeah, we got to give him some shit. They need to pep up their little step over there.
I do see the gate now, so we finally made it there.
Love that.
Yeah, and I love that they have 2 tracks. I think it's really cool for the contest. It opens up a lot of more possibilities. But this is the issue you run into is when they overlap and the schedule gets thrown off, then it can really throw things into limbo, especially with the minimums, especially with people that are jumping in at the very last second and have to play those last 6 races. I mean, those are the ones that get in the most trouble.
And at this point, they walk by the gate at Tampa and are still walking the wrong way. We're just now making a U-turn to go back toward the gate. So the gap went from 6 minutes between posts to 3 minutes, probably really closer to 2.
Yeah. Well, when I was looking at these post times earlier in the day, I mean, there wasn't a huge margin for error to begin with.
Yeah, because I kind of knew my plan, and come back to the text we were talking about earlier, I wrote them down. And originally, there was 6 minutes. We have found the gate.
You gotta be careful with the gators out there. You never know. Chris, check your text real quick.
I'm just going to tell you when.
Yeah, we want to find out, but we don't want to, give people a time to do something.
Here's Miss Valentina up to gate 2. Motif, Samuel, we're in for Chad Brown. Post 7 there, your 7 to 5 favorites.
All right. Going to be an interesting 5 minutes. Good luck, everyone.
Class is going to be next.
Still alive.
Stuart Jenny. White cherry hoop colors. There's Reality Star coming up.
At this point, I think everybody's going to play at Tampa because are play 1 to 2 or be against the 1 to 2.
Yeah.
Good job on the drone shots by Zach and Tristan, our drone pilots.
2 more to load.
And Spotter.
And the 8's balking. So it's going to be 1 minute now between post
Reality
times.
Star, still not quite in. Sammy Camacho for Sugar Gay, he can post 8.
I love balkers. When I was a kid, like everything I rode was sour barrel horses that my dad would buy for someone else, and they all balked. Like if they called my name, everybody knew just get out of the way because this thing is going to balk, and I'm going to take the
I would prefer the ones that you just ride on the trails that don't do anything. They don't get spooked by anything. You just hang
That's
on.
no fun. I rode horses all my life. I hate trail riding. I'm bored to death. The 8 is really having an absolute
open the front of the gate.
So right now we're a minute between posts, and you got to go. How far was this race? A mile and the 16?
Yeah.
Not happening.
If you're that's going to affect your minimums, you better change it right now because you're not going to be able to do that.
Yeah, I'm good.
Looks like Sammy's going to step off momentarily.
Well, now they back to 5 out.
So the final 3.
5's coming.
Pop Art, Black Darter will be all set for a start here today.
10 is in, and 1 more with the 11.
Well, I made a bet. I think it's what you're doing, but I hope
Art,
it's
Blood Hill Colors, and Black Darter to the outside. Big long shot at 90 to 1.
99 to 1.
Black Darter going in. They're in the gate.
I'm all in on the 7 with a 6-7 cash back up exactly.
Speed down toward the inside. Well, spinning classes right there. And up to the outside. Tibbs is also close up, and Tibbs is actually going to go up to take the early advantage. Miss Valentina going to try to hold that rail position as Pop Art moves up to the outside. Things got real tight there for Queen dancing in the center. Had to tap on the brakes. So up front, it's Tibbs just in front of Pop Art. Those are going to be the top 2. Bronte and Black Darter away 3rd and 4th. Spinning class now back 5th to the inside. Celtic Motif gets away mid-pack, 6th in the orange cap. It's a length and a half more than back to Miss Valentina, who's in a lineup of 3, along with Reality Star. Queen dancing between horses after that. Trouble is 3rd last. Then you get 2 in the back. Our Money Trail and the Palace Girls. So toward the back stretch, 23.61. The opening quarter mile. It's long shot Tibbs in front of Pop Art. There's a tugging Willing 2nd there on the outside. It's 2.5 more. Back to Bronte, who's 3rd. Right, that one's outside Black Darter, making some ground. Reality Star goes around the favorite Celtic Motif, who's back with spinning class. They race together in 6th and 7th. They're 2 clear of Queen Dancing. Miss Valentina
is getting the trail.
Money Trail and the Palace Girl. They're about 11 lengths front to back as they go to the far turn. 48.16 seconds was the opening half mile for Tibbs, who continues on. Tibbs by the 3/8 pole in front by length to Pop Art. Bronte, Reality Star coming with a 3 wide bid on the outside. length and a half more than the Palace Girls made up big time ground. Celtic Motif got stopped in traffic. They're going to wheel toward the outside. We're going to have to follow the move of the Palace Girls. They come to the top of the stretch. Pop hard right up alongside of Temps to poke ahead in front. Down the far outside, the Palace Girl continues to uncoil. Celtic Motif also lengthening stride down the outside. The Palace Girl coming up after Pop Hard. The Palace Girl grabs the lead. Pop Hard tries to battle on Celtic Motif down the outside. The Palace Girl to win it. Second was razor tight there between Celtic and
The one won that race midterm. You got the jump on the 7 was the difference. And the one looks like the horse they bet at Keeneland. She was finishing.
Yeah.
She was second best. She was second best today against the win, but that was because the jockey pressed the issue and didn't sit and wait.
Yeah. And the 7 had a ton of traffic on the turn. I mean, she checked a couple times. She went from being 5th in a really good spot to 8th or 9th. I mean, tough trip there on the 7.
Yeah, I know she definitely was best, but I will her back and catch her next time, or like we talk about, I'll bet and dig a deeper hole.
Yeah, 5-1. I mean, that could shake things up too. I mean, it doesn't take a whole lot.
I think people will bet that horse.
Yeah. Walden too is a popular guy. I mean, he takes a lot of money typically. So
I think we're not going to get a leaderboard update, but they are loading at Fairgrounds.
The one is 3-1 right now as they're loading. I'm going to guess he'll go off at about 7-5.
I'll guess 8-5.
They're in the game. And they're off. The Nelson J. Menard Memorial Stakes and Party Pauline getting right into the groove, tackled by Sporting Lady, and there's lots and lots of candy. Who's just swept ahead for Brian Jr., and she crosses and clears rivals. Lots and lots of candy. First past the half-mile hole by 3 from Sporting Lady and Party Pauline. They're a joint second after a sharp start. Dan Terra in tight quarters between them, running in 4th. It's lots and lots of candy who spearheads them around the far turn, then follow back to wide. Harbor Springs and all black.
The way this 4-5 is traveling, this might be over already.
Lots of candy. 22.4.
Especially with the one's traveling.
Lots and lots of candy. Lanes past the quarter pole for Brian
The one is
lots and lots
coming.
of candy. A 5-length leader coming into the final fairgrounds for long.
I'm not going to get there.
Sporting Lady was in second, but joined by Big Trouble, who's mounting a late charge, and Harbor Springs is running in 4th. But well inside the final 16th.
Doing it again.
And lots of candy. And a sweet tooth to win the Nelson J. Menard Memorial. Lots and lots of candy. 1 by 5 for Big Trouble.
The one runs second. I could definitely see people pressing the exacta there if they chose to play the dirt race over the turf race.
Yeah, the 9-1, it looks like it paid $3 and change for $1, which is, I mean, not bad. Especially, you had to be feeling pretty good about 5 seconds out of the gate because they
Charlie, I know you're becoming a lawyer, buddy, but let's not be referring to yourself in the first person just yet. Just kidding. Nice job.
He put up a comment earlier in the day, and then he texted me to put it up, and I just refused. But I guess I got to put up that one because you got to.
Good job. I would not have bet that horse with Charlie's money. So I know a hell of a job.
We got a winner, and that typically doesn't happen. So I feel bad for the kid. So we can go ahead and give him his glory.
But the leaderboard update is that, and of course Tampa also has an objection for 4th place going on. The 6 is flashing. So
what'd the 6 do?
I'm not real sure. Maybe the 6 has filed the objection.
Who ended up in second? Did the 10 hold on for a second?
It's showing 110.76 right now.
Okay.
I think they're looking at something maybe out of the gate.
Well, probably not.
I don't know what it would be. I didn't see anything.
Yeah. Either way, I think both those races we could see some movement for sure. I mean, but exacta was not exactly complicated to have. Those 2 big favorites again. And even if you like the 9 at 4-5, I mean, double up basically. Slightly under. That sets you up for a lot more options than you would have had before that. So.
I'm reading Will's text right now saying the 7 was 20 links the best.
I just, if you guys are football fans, I just checked the score of the Rams and Panthers, and the Rams are up 14-0, and it looks like the Panthers are going down to score, but may have been stopped on third down. Oh, there's a flag. Oh, lovely. But it's 14-0 as of now. I'm sure you guys are probably having that on the screen like I am. So,
Well, believe it or not, I don't even know. I couldn't until you told me. I don't even know who's in the playoffs. And you're talking to a person that used to breathe football. No, I've got mock drafts. I've got so many fantasy like draft only teams you couldn't keep up with them probably 6-7 years ago. Today, I have no interest whatsoever.
So the fairgrounds race is official. 9-1-7 over there.
We are still looking at overhead camp.
Yeah, but
Well, luckily, we're going to have a lot of time either way.
I know at this point, it's a shame that it does this to the contest because it kind of downplays some of the thrill and the movement. Because if your money got tied up at Tampa and you wanted to play that 9, shit out of luck. Just wasn't happening.
you're correct, Bob. I did talk about the 1 on Wednesday. Want to know how much I bet on the 1? 0. We love it.
See,
Okay,
there were the
you don't wanna bet
times when
against
there's a
it.
horse I don't like. I don't like saying why I don't like them because then I might talk somebody off and it wins. And like Mike,
The money totally talked me off.
yeah, Mike, you'll send me something about a horse or Jackson will or whoever, and if I don't like that horse, I don't even say anything.
Yeah,
you know,
I want you to tell me, because if I say make a case for the horse, right, and then you have a negative point about it, if I don't have a good rebuttal for your point, then maybe I don't want to bet as much as I was planning on.
my response depends on how the text is asked. Like if you ask me, what do you think about this horse? I do. But if you tell me I love the so-and-so and the whatever,
Sure.
I just say, because if I talk to you, I know me and Matt Miller talk about this all the time, especially with the amount of money Matt will bet. We have went final at Tampa. We should get a leaderboard update.
Okay,
But real quickly, me and Matt talk about this. If he's going to bet a horse and I talk him off of it for whatever negative reason, this horse wins, I'm going to feel horrible.
Right.
There's a leaderboard.
And I
right
get
there.
that too. For sure.
We've got an update for fairgrounds. I'm going to keep refreshing, so hopefully we get an update for Tampa, unless I make another mistake and they update it at the same time again. But maybe you guys can check that for me.
I think you're right.
Frank played that exacta at Fairgrounds, 9-1 cold, and moved to third.
Very nice.
Perfect.
But this is going to end up being really interesting.
No.
It's very clustered right now towards the top.
Yeah.
Open Timothy Yoler there.
Okay, so it is official. Wow, a lot of tries.
Yeah. Tries with the 1 on top. He caught. Well, I guess he would have had it either way because of the 10 second, 7 thirds. So good call by Yoler here, by Timothy Yoler.
Had some backups there, and see, the more I bet, the lazier I get. I don't want to push that many buttons.
Yeah, we still got James Metzger, who was up at I think he might have been in second at some point. I think he's made a couple bets. He's got 972. Still right in this thing. I mean, if you got 5 seats, he's only needing to make up about $300 as of now. Of course, we've maybe got people on the bubble that would make some plays and try to move up that bar just a little bit. Max is at 699. He's in 7th. Mike Saletta, 606. Kenneth Jordan, 528, and Tim at 410 in 10th right now. So, I mean, a lot of people that still have a big chance. And seems like this next race at Fairgrounds is going to be very interesting because we have that big scratch of Go Sugar. So, I mean, we'll talk about it a little bit, but that's really going to shake things up because I think a lot of people were maybe counting on maybe leaning on that favorite to end the day.
Yeah, and now you're still got a big favorite, it seems like, in this race, in Elton Arrow, who was just losing to Go Sugar. So, let's see. He's 6-5 right now. Is that going to hold up? Maybe not quite 6-5, but he'll be sub 2-1 for sure.
Yeah.
So it's one of those, with the board and the way this race is shaping up. Like, if the 5 doesn't win this race, that's when you can kind of see some chaos on this leaderboard, because I do think a lot of people might key in on this 5. Whether it's having him to win, or having him on top, or having him in second in exactas. He seems like a very logical horse. Shows up every single time, somewhat tactical. He's clearly the horse to beat.
Chris, what number would you have gotten to if the 7 was able to win, or that 6-7?
What did he go off at?
I think it was 8-5, 7-5.
Yeah, I had sorry, I completely keep clicking off this thing and it does not. I had $312 to win, so I would have been in that 680, 90 range probably without doing the math. Mm-hmm. And I would be, right there in the hunt, because everybody on the leaderboard, I would say with the exception of maybe 12th through 14th, and they're not dead in the water if they come up with the right exact and you punch it cold, until you're going to have players at the top of the board betting combinations to play defense. You're going to have people right under them betting combinations to catch them. So if you're at the bottom and you pick the right 1, 2, and play it cold, you could be at the top of the leaderboard. This thing is wide open with a wide open race left.
Yeah, and I got to imagine there are some dead doubles, or not dead doubles, but hidden doubles out there with the 9 that just won. I have to imagine there's probably going to be at least a few people that are looking at some doubles to close out in this race.
Yeah, I wish Rian did make it back to hear what his thinking was playing defense in a low total with so many people alive. You almost don't want to, being first and being second is technically always best, but you almost kind of want to be the guy chasing than playing defense.
Yeah, it's just one of those rare situations where you hit the top early and we just haven't seen anybody take another swing. It's just unlike what we've seen at least the last couple of weeks.
I think if you're Rian in first place and knowing that he's double qualified and knowing that 5th is basically every bit as good as first in his contest based on his circumstances, you're probably either sitting or you're making a $100 win bet on the favorite just to move the ball up a little bit. I don't really see a need to do anything else, right? Because the only way you get beat by 4 or 5 people is if everyone's on the favorite. I don't like if some 5-1 shot wins, there's not going to be 5 people passing.
Yeah.
But if the favorite wins, you could potentially have that many people passing you. It's unlikely, but that's really the only danger zone, I think, unless everyone has hidden doubles that we don't know about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, would you guys agree with that, or would you be playing if you were Rian?
If I'm Rian, I'm probably setting.
Yeah.
But I think it also comes down to opinion. Like for me in this last race, let's say the 7 wins at Tampa, I would have to get off right now line to try to figure out what to do, because I had no opinion in this race the first time I looked at it, so probably don't have one now. So ultimately, opinion. If you have a big opinion in here, I think you hammer that opinion.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to text him right now to see if maybe we can get some insight. I know he is. No, I'm not gonna say it, but I'm just trying to speculate on what he would do, because he's typically a pretty aggressive player, right? But I think this is obviously just me guessing because he hasn't said anything yet. I think he would try to bite his tongue and prevent himself from doing something, because, like you said, 5th is golden for him. He doesn't need first or second, so
right. Because it's basically a $5,000 seat. He'll have $4,500 plus his bankroll. He can just buy another KDBC. So he's fine.
To the chat, like Mike chickened out and didn't play. It's tough. I know it took Matt Miller a long time before the book come out, and me and Matt talking, to get me to where I would push these opinions, because I would get myself in a good position and have a good opinion, and then I would play it. I would try to play it with an exacta so I didn't spend all my money, and it just is. If you listen to Matt or you read his book, you just got to go.
Yeah, I think another good question would be, what do you do if you're Brian, knowing that Ryan's got 2 NHCs? Do you try to pass him and
is
try to
Brian in seek of NHC?
That's another.
No, there's a lot of things going on with this contest this late in the point share for NHC. I know if I'm in the hunt of an NHC seat and I have any money left, I'm frantically. Well, I'd already done it. I would have been looking to see who is double qualified. Yeah, that's going to make a big difference in what people do here.
Yeah, that's the tricky part about knowing what If this was some regular contest where it's all KDBCs, it'd be much easier to predict what everyone's going to do. But that NHC KDBC combo really throws a wrench into things.
Yeah. Mike says that Frank and Ryan are both double qualified.
And Frank doesn't surprise me because obviously he's very avid in the contest world. So
yeah. And is the points still going on for that, like the tour points? Yeah, I think that goes on.
I think it goes into February, if I had to guess.
Let me look at something. I bet Frank is chasing points. So let me see if I can pull this up. I do not look at this very much anymore.
Well, Chris, if you would have hit the 7, the Chad in the Tampa race, what would you do here? Would you try to do something with El Dinero, maybe some exactas, or would you be trying to beat him and play somebody at a higher price?
I know in some form I would be trying to play the 3 that is a price. It's not a strong opinion, but that was the horse I ended up with on top in this race, going by my figs and looking for a new face. I would primarily would be playing that horse, but the way I play and Matt plays say are two different things. Like if Matt's got money and he wants to win, nothing else is going to matter. I try to get in that mindset, and I have to some point in certain situations, but in a place like this where I had no opinion, if I had $1,000, I might risk a little and try to move up, but at the end of the day, I want to make a profit.
Yeah.
And if I have an opinion, I will fire it. Jackson will tell you, I played some crazy horses in the last month or so that ran like shit. And I played some crazy price horses that ran very well.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you guys this. All the people that are where Chris would have been, where Mike's at right now, all the people in the $700 to, down to $400, $300 range, what number are you guys targeting right now to get into the top 5? Like, what do you, because you can't target 5th, obviously. That's probably not going to be enough. You're targeting either someone between 1st and 4th. So what would be that number?
17 for me. And Brian is not qualified at all according to the tour points board.
Okay.
So for him, this is a big deal. And if I'm him and I know Ryan and Frank are both double qualified, I'm doing nothing. I'm going to make these other people come get me, and I'm going to go to Vegas.
Yeah, I would agree with the 1,700 because, like you said, Frank's not going to be playing. He doesn't have any reason to play. So,
no.
Where is he at? No, he's in 243rd in points, so he has no reason to chase points. Ryan is about the same spot. He has no reason to chase points. Timothy Yoler is not qualified. So that, he has a bankroll here. That's going to be pretty huge for him, assuming he cares about that. Max Schnepp, I probably pronounced it wrong. He's double qualified. So you're looking at,
wow.
How many are we 2 NHC seats here?
Yeah.
So right now you'll be looking at Brian and Timothy Yoler.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're somebody like, let me see, Metzger, James is the next one down, not qualified. So if I'm him, I'm definitely trying to get to Timothy, which is only 350 ahead.
Yeah, and Mike Slutta just said he's double qualified for the KDBC. So obviously you can get more than 2. But it's pretty clear what his intentions are and what place he's trying to get.
So it's interesting, and unfortunately today it comes down to a race that I would have a hard time forming an opinion, but that's why this game is so great, because I may have no opinion and Jackson may have one that he loves. We actually run into that all the time.
Every day. Yeah. Did you say Steven is qualified for the NHC or he is not? I got confused because we started talking about KDBC qualifying and NHC qualifying.
I looked at so many I done forgot. Maybe I didn't look Steven up. Steven is not qualified at all. Okay. So I must have missed him when I was going down the list.
Yeah. Then if you're Steven, I'm just guessing here, if he wants to be the NHC seat, I would imagine he's going to make a little bet on probably the 5 here. And maybe one else, depending how he plays.
Something we talk about with these contests. I was on with John Gasper this weekend, and the luck of when you have your opinions. Like today, I had no opinions at Fairground Tampa I liked. At Santa Anita and Gulfstream, I've done pretty well. Unfortunately, the opinion I put on top at Gulfstream was wrong. And then I'm right over, but that's just the way it goes. So if one of these guys' best opinion on the day is in this last at Fairgrounds, they have a huge advantage.
Right.
I'll go ahead and mention some of the horses that I was interested in. I know I talked about this race a little bit on Wednesday, but I'll just kind of resurface some of the things that I brought up. I think the one's got as good a chance as anyone. He's cutting back. He's got numbers that completely fit, especially. I know they're going 2 turns, but the cutback should suit him well if he's able to kind of swing out and make one run. I think he's got a big shot. I actually didn't think Sir Wellington was without a chance, even with Go Sugar in. He was kind of the main pace threat, at least within the first couple furlongs to Go Sugar. Now that it's very possible that he gets a clear lead. He is 8 years old, and he really hasn't run all that well his last 2. But those horses are better than the horses that he's going to be running against today. So I didn't really think he was without a chance. I mean, Paco's not going to hop on an 8-year-old if he can't run anymore. That's kind of the thought that I had. Chris, you talked about the 3, who I didn't give a huge chance to, but now that Go Sugar's out, I think is probably an outside chance. Hey Jude, I didn't really know what to do with because his last race was slow and not that good, but he didn't really break all that well, and even some of his other numbers I didn't really think fit all that well. And just if there was a shorter price in here that I wouldn't play, it'd probably be him. But now that I say that, he's going to come over the top. So
I just don't take money because of connections.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I want to ask Chris a question, just generally. You said you would have bet the 3 in this race. Is that correct?
Yes.
So why did you bet the race before then? Because even if you would have been able to afford the win bet on the 3 in here and probably exactas with 3 in second with your bankroll that you had prior to the last race. So to me, I'm just wondering, was that shove on the 7 an unnecessary risk because you still needed the 3 horse to run well in the last race no matter what, and you probably could have afforded it?
Not necessarily. My confidence level in this 3 is minimal. This on the confidence level races I wanted to bet today at both tracks, this would have fell at the very, very bottom. This would have been a situation where I pulled back money because of the low scores on the leaderboard and was just taking a shot late. And if I did get the 7, I was going to make a decision whether I would take a shot here or pull my money back and take the profit. I needed things to go differently early. And it's almost a situation where if we would have had scores like last week where they were higher, I would have been all in at Tampa in race 6 or 7. I forgot which it was, and I'd have been out already. But instead, I split my money and tried to play the contest game to sneak in there and get a little bit.
Yeah, that's the hard part too. You don't know. I mean, last week never would have guessed that it would have taken 13x to be 4th or whatever it was, something ridiculous. Yeah. This week it's going to be 3x. I mean, this is a week later. It just varies, and those things.
And back to your question, and every day when there's a contest, unless it's one we jump in last minute where I'm just playing around a low entry or whatever, we talk about this all the time. Confidence level on every race, having a specific plan. This race coming up at Fairgrounds ends the contest. I started handicapping there, and knew right away I wanted to be out or way on the leaderboard when we got to this race. And today just kind of played out weird with no real strong opinions. So I rolled the dice a little bit.
Yeah, I don't want to interrupt the conversation because it's some good stuff that you guys are talking about, but they are going on to the track just to give everybody.
Yeah, we're 5 minutes.
Just 5 minutes. They're just starting the post break now. So Mike is not qualified for the NHC. I do not believe. Like, he's got $606. Yeah.
And going back to confidence level and what I would do here, I'm borderline trying to become, this is what I'm doing for a living. So I'm staying in that mindset of pull money back and make a profit. If I'm in Mike's seat right now, I want to go to Vegas. I'm picking a horse and I am betting. And not that it's the best contest ever, but it's a hell of a lot of fun. And we had a big time there last year.
Yeah.
So I would want to go back. And I hope Mike is there with us. Oh, he has one seat.
I think he is. So.
Well, I would still be in the same boat because I want that second.
Right. And you got your second.
Yes.
Well, let me ask you guys this, because let's assume someone is at like $500 and they like the 5 in here. You think the 5 can't lose the race. Would you? But if you put the 5 to win, that's not going to get you where you need to go. Mm-hmm. So would you pivot to exactas, or would you bet just horses to win that would get you to where you need to go? Like what? And that
if your goal is to get in the prize money, you're going to have to bet exactas, or you're going to have to pick another spot and be against the horse you think is the most likely winner.
Right.
And that's hard for me to do.
Are you proposing like if you would have a big opinion on the 5, like you said?
Yeah, like the Brad Anderson situation, the Breeders' Cup, where he liked whoever with Mackenzie, I think, and then it wasn't going to be enough, and he switched. Instead of doing exactas with Mackenzie, he picked a different horse, so I can't remember who won, but that's what he did, and it worked. So I guess it would probably depend on the race, of course, but like typically, what would you lean towards?
I think I would lean exactas.
Me too.
With the 5 over.
If I was confident that the 5 is your most likely winner, I'm going to be trying to figure out who runs second. Now, if it was a situation where, say, I like the 5 and 4 both as A's, and my separation was a little, I would probably pivot in that case. But 9 times out of 10, I'm going to try to find who's going to run second.
Right. And this probably goes back to what you said earlier about it being a confidence thing. Like for you, Chris, this race, and I think Noah too, you don't have a huge opinion. Like in that situation, okay, well, I'll just go to the next horse. That gets me where I need to go, or the next set of horses, and just bet them to win. And if I really need to, I can bet the favorite on the side and still have a decent day if that horse wins, because you get in the prize pool, that's $5,000 roughly. I mean, that's a lot of money. So
yeah, that's true.
It's worth betting on the side, I think, in a race like this where it's not a huge field and you have a strong favorite. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, most definitely. And like I said, I think this late in the year when you got NHC seats involved and things, it definitely makes a lot more strategy involved, and it becomes who wants what and who is in, seeking this. We're 2 minutes to post. The 5 has actually drifted up a little.
Yeah.
So if you were in that hypothetical $500 position, now you got to sit here and you got to watch the total.
Yeah. He's not going to drift to 2 to 1 though. Or 5 to 2. No. I think it'll be sub 2 to 1. Still,
yeah,
I think
I agree.
Ish.
Well, what was that number we were thinking about targeting? 17.
17, yeah.
17. So if you're playing exactas right now, you're getting $7 for $1 with a 5-1. You're getting 9 for a 5-4, and then the next biggest is the 7. That's 15. I have to imagine these are going to get hit pretty late. I would think. What do you think a 5-1 would be? $4, $5, maybe more towards 4.
Let me see.
Likely lower. The CAW money has been pretty ridiculous at fairgrounds.
Well, and they bet I think 5-1 and 5-4 are going to pay roughly the same. So what are they right now? 7 and 9.
7 and
Yeah,
9.
probably more like 5 and 6 ish. I mean, it's not a huge deal either. Being lower, it could be.
Definitely.
And that's the other thing too is you don't want to be leaving the putt short. I mean, I'd rather way overbet it than.
Yeah.
I would not trust if you like 5-4 exacting here. I would not trust that you're getting $9.
Yeah, these are a lot bigger stakes, but something else I keep referring to our group text.
Yeah.
I've come up short a couple times at fairgrounds in the past 30 days because I'm looking at these probables and I'm waiting and betting at the last very possible minute, and my probable gets cut in half. And once it's cut in half, it's over. You're done.
Yeah. And that's when I won a couple weeks ago at fairgrounds. I got really lucky. I ended up in first because my target was really like 24, but I was so afraid of the late odds drops that I overbet it. And then when it didn't happen, I just ended up getting really lucky. But as you said, we see it all the time with the late odds drops. Like you have to account for that. It'd be the worst feeling in the world to leave it short by $50 because you underbet it.
And that is another reason why I've been trying to stick to the win bets in contests, unless it's the last race like this when you don't have a choice. I bet one at fairgrounds. Maybe it may have been this week, and I did all the math. I'm betting 30 seconds before they leave the gate. I hit my bet. And because of the changes from CAW, I lost money. I lost money in my bankroll.
Definitely something you got to account for. I know the 1 and the 4 are both 7 to 2 right now. But yeah, I would have to imagine, and actually the exactas are going down as we speak. Do have 0 minutes to post, so I would assume we're going to get a good amount of money coming on both of those and within the next 30 seconds to a minute.
The 4 being 4 to 1 still, I don't get that.
I don't either. I think if I was on that $500 range, I might just play a 5-1. I don't even know if I would play it like a 5-4 even on the side. Like I don't like the 4, so why would I waste my money?
The 9 is sitting there at 11-1. This is a very capable trainer. Don't nobody know who he is. He runs in Louisiana. This horse has been on sloppy track twice. Once going a mile, toss that out. So the other time he's been on the sloppy track was last time at Fairgrounds versus Open Company. 4-horse field, but I don't know. If you're looking for a price, and there's nothing wrong with that horse.
Yeah. If I had to go with a price, and if I was in that maybe 250, 300 range, I'd maybe just take a shot with the 2. Maybe wires him.
Yeah. And the 10 is 31-1 coming off the claim for a barn that shows, I don't know specifics, just looking at formulator, shows 42% off the claim.
Yeah. No, I know that's a pretty hot barn right now. I'm not super familiar with the guy, but just based off numbers, I mean that guy's firing for sure.
Yeah, and he's Martin Pedrosa's up.
Yeah. Looks like we're loading.
Was beaten a length and a half by Dacre Moon last time.
Yeah. Looks like we are loading. We've got I think 2 more runners to load, and good luck to everyone out there if you're playing this race and involved in the TWINSPIRES contest.
With 44 wins between them. Good one to close out the card. They're in the game. And they're off for the Gary P. Palmisano Senior Memorial Stakes. And Strong Promise just rockets away from there. Corpus with an early bid. Here's Hey Jude, who's moved through now to take a short lead. It's Hey Jude. Hey Jude in front of the pack. And the chasing pack being led by Corpus, who's now second. Strong Promise in third. Joined on the outside by Sounds Like Power. And toward the inside is Bron and Rao. Right there in the hunt. They're well grouped going past the half-mile pole. Then it's a break of 2 more. 2 toward the inside. It's Benoit as they round the far turn with on the outside. El Dinero and Sir Wellington trails the stakes here in the Fairgrounds finale, where the quarter was passed in 22.45 seconds. It's Hey Jude. Hey Jude leads them on the edge of the quarter pole. Hey Jude comes charging off the turn in front of Corpus with Bron and Brown toward the inside. Sounds Like Power. Now here's El Dinero, and Sheriff Flubbery has that royal blue rally cap on. With 1 furlong to go, it's El Dinero who sets his sights on Hey Jude. Corpus right there toward the inside. Late bid by Sir Wellington. It is Hey Jude. And on the outside, El Dinero to win the Gary P. Palmisano Senior Memorial. El Dinero has won from Hey Jude and Sir Wellington.
5-4-2, and you got 7-5 on the 5, which I didn't think you were getting anywhere close to that. I was totally wrong about the 4. If you bet a 5-4, you're probably being like, what the hell? But actually, I thought that 2 ran well. I thought the 2 would be on the lead, but obviously 5 got the job done and paid considerably well.
There's going to be some movement with 5 winning and it being very logical at second. It's going to get shaken up pretty good.
Like I've watched Frank play enough. If he had a strong opinion here on this 5, he would have bet all in just to win.
Right. Exactly. Actually paid great. They paid.
Yeah, I was just going to tell you what.
I didn't think they were going to go as low as you thought, but I did not think they were going to.
And like we talked about the Amos horse with Jose, and of course he made us look silly. He almost wins the race.
Yeah.
But that's what, if your last name is Ortiz, that's what you do.
Yep. Pretty much. Mike Saletta. Mike Saletta was able to score. He had a $200 exact.
Now I'm excited to see the leaderboard update now.
So it looks like he's going to be at 2260. I mean, I have to imagine that's going to be pretty good.
It's going to be
probably
nice.
Top 2. So I'd be worried about Steven. Knowing how he plays in these last races, he probably bet that 5. It's just a matter of how hard he hit it.
Yeah.
But again, that wasn't a crazy impossible exact to have, and it paid $10. So if you're betting a $200 exact like Mike did, all of a sudden you're passing Rian.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you were at 1,000 and you bet it all to win, now you're way up there. So this is going to be a interesting board.
And while we're waiting, I was going to look over here. Matthew Bajunkin, $100 cash game today. His $1,833. Yeah, second place, 1104. I know some of the cash contests lately have been ridiculous bankrolls. I know it's been nuts.
That's 2 Saturdays in a row we've seen like 20x and
Yeah.
cash.
That's
That's
crazy.
insane. That's
Yeah,
very
it
impressive.
definitely is. What were we last night? 10x?
Yeah, not even like 8.
Jeez.
Did he win by a lot, or was there like someone right behind him that he was battling with?
I clicked off of it.
I know it's not over, but
So the race at Fairgrounds is official. Should I go ahead and bring it up?
Yeah, bring it up. I can go back to the cash.
wow, they're quick there. I
Yeah,
guess
they
don't
are.
really see the
There it
scales.
is.
Mike Solana.
Nice job.
Very nice.
Great play by Mike. Obviously, he
Yes.
had that exact.
What did everyone do?
I think Ryan bet 40 to win because he might have had to clear a double. I'm not exactly
A lot
sure.
of sense. Move the ball up in case the favorite won, which you did. Yep.
Yeah, Brian's about where he was. He had a $10 box with the 5 and the 7. Obviously, he looks like he had cleared minimums at that point. So it was just a bit of a play to move himself up. I know we'll talk about this more.
Probably
on Wednesday.
just trying to pass Ryan, I would guess.
Yeah.
But that's exactly.
Yeah, and then Steven looks like he stayed in 4th. He played the 5-1, and
Yeah.
Steven, you were wrong and I was wrong too. So, yeah, obviously we'll let Howard and Matt and whoever joins them on Wednesday, Jackson, talk about that a little bit more. But I guess the story of the day is hats off to Mike. Really.
Yeah, absolutely. Second NHC seat. That's awesome.
Yeah, great.
And I get excited when I do well on one of these things, but when I see Jackson do well, Noah do well,
Yeah.
Mike do well, I get just as excited, especially when I know what's going on at the end. I didn't know Mike's play until he flashed it up there, but then just instantly, I want to check the cash right quick.
So Mike will get a second NHC. You'll get a KDBC to Ryan. Looks like Brian got that second NHC, and then KDBCs to both Steven and Frank. So congrats to all 5 of them who.
What did Frank play? He bet down quite a bit. He lost
Did he?
$300 or so.
I figured he would take a shot. He'll swing.
Okay.
We bet
He like the 7.
bet the 7 to win and a backup 5-7. Looks like.
Yeah. Who was this? I don't know who the 7 was.
I don't know. And where did
Oh,
this
the speed.
finish?
The speed. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's great. That's a great hit by Mike.
Not surprising, nobody passed Matthew McJunkin in the cash contest, $1,733.
Damn good score.
Oh yeah. Well, gentlemen, that was a lot of fun. Again, congrats to Mike and Ryan and all those guys that were able to secure a seat. Of course, we'll be joining you throughout the week with our live shows Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night. So I'm not sure who's going to be on the leaderboard. I don't know if it's going to be Jackson or myself. I know I did back-to-back weeks, so it's going to be me. All right. I guess I'll see you guys on Wednesday. And then Weekend Warriors most likely next week, but obviously stay tuned. Howard will update you on what we got going on and the stuff that's going to be coming your way. So for Chris, for Jackson, this has been Noah. Thank you guys so much for joining us this afternoon on another episode 21 of Weekend Warriors, covering the TWINSPIRES, KDBC, and NHC qualifier contest at both Fairgrounds and Tampa. And until next time, see you guys next week.
If you have not followed his Triple H horse racing podcast, you're missing out. It's one of the best podcasts in the country.